norms of interstate relations and diminishing effectiveness and credibility of institutions of global governance. Flux and uncertainty reign supreme while the international community remains deeply polarized. The scale of human suffering and material damage continues to mount phenomenally. At the different level, our world is passing through another hinge moment in history. A profound transformation is taking place in the global order. Globe is witnessing changes unseen in a century. The unipolar moment is long gone. By all indications, the world is moving towards multipolarity. The peaceful rise of China, attempts to contain China's rise, resurgence of Russia, increasing silence of Eurasia in global politics, emergence of middle powers, and growing role of the global South are some of the prominent features of this transitional phase. In essence, major power contestation on the one hand and increasing agency of multiple new actors on the other present an incredible mix of challenges and opportunities for statecraft everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, amidst the global turbulence and transformation, Pakistan is charting a forward-looking course as a confident and self-assured nation, resolutely safeguarding its sovereignty and territorial integrity and shouldering its obligations as a responsible member of the international community, both as a middle power and a key member of the global South. Pakistan is contributing to the worthy causes of peace and security as well as sustainable development. A strategic and constructive engagement with the world community has been pivotal for ensuring a secure and prosperous future for Pakistan. By the grace of Almighty Allah, our global profile continues to improve and rise. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the mettle of a nation was tested again recently, with India's unfounded allegations following the Pahalgam attack and its unprovoked aggression in May 2025. Pakistan swiftly retaliated to the Indian escalation with a quid pro quo plus response, which is the new normal set by Pakistan if India insists on its dangerous notion of limited war under the nuclear threshold. Ladies and gentlemen, the outcome of this 4-day war has once again underscored the reality that India can neither intimidate nor coerce Pakistan. New Delhi must therefore rethink its present heuristic and misguided policies that threaten peace and undermine security in South Asia. Pakistan also remains determined to protect its rights and entitlements under the Indus Waters Treaty. We firmly reject attempts by India to weaponize water in pursuit of its narrow geopolitical objectives. India's illegal and unilateral action of putting the treaty in abeyance has no validity. Pakistan will continue to mobilize all relevant international and legal fora to highlight India's violations of international law and the treaty's provisions. We have made very clear in the National Security Committee meeting on 24th of April that any action by India to divert the flow of water would be considered as an act of war. Pakistan will not allow India to hold its 240 million people hostage to hydro-terrorism. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan values the efforts of all friendly countries, including the United States, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, UAE, Turkey, that resulted in preventing further escalation between India and Pakistan and putting the ceasefire in place. Going forward, it is essential to consolidate the ceasefire, institute a reliable crisis management mechanism, and develop confidence building measures that would help stabilize the regional security situation. Ladies and gentlemen, beyond conflict management, moving towards dispute resolution is indispensable. Pakistan remains committed to peaceful and cooperative relations with all its neighbors, including India. We believe in peace, but with dignity and honor, and on the basis of mutual respect and sovereign equality. It is our considered view that sustainable peace in South Asia remains contingent on a just and lasting solution of Jammu and Kashmir dispute in accordance with the UN Security Council resolutions and the wishes of the Kashmiri people. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan also believes that time has come to reimagine regional cooperation in South Asia and our extended neighborhood. The negative impulses of dominance and hegemony have long stymied this process and made SAARC dysfunctional. A region instead needs a positive spirit of solidarity, mutually beneficial collaborations, and shared prosperity. South Asian countries can constitute groups with viable geometry on issues from economy to technology to connectivity. Bangladesh, China, and Pakistan have recently formed a trilateral mechanism to promote cooperation in a broad range of areas of common interest, like we already have a trilateral between China, Pakistan, and Afghanistan mechanism. Further, such mechanism can be envisaged with other South Asian states based on the principles of common interest, mutual benefit, and win-win mutual cooperation. Distinguished participants, Pakistan remains profoundly concerned about the recent developments in the Middle East. We condemned Israel's completely unjustified aggression against Iran, as well as the attack on Iranian nuclear facilities by the United States. These actions, representing a highly dangerous escalation, have been in violation of the UN Charter and the international law. Pakistan has consistently supported Iran's legitimate right to self-defense under the Charter. We appreciate the constructive and pragmatic approach that Iran adopted in finding a negotiated solution to the nuclear issue. The US-Israeli actions seriously undermined the long-standing norms of interstate behavior and exposed the entire region to a conflagration of potentially unimaginable consequences. Pakistan has welcomed the announcement of the ceasefire between Iran and Israel. We stress again that all the relevant parties must constructively engage and resolve all outstanding disputes peacefully through dialogue and diplomacy. Ladies and gentlemen, Israel's genocidal war against Palestinians in Gaza continues to be a stain on the conscience of humanity. The wanton killing of children and women, use of starvation as an instrument of war, mass destruction of homes, schools and hospitals and critical infrastructure, and deliberate targeting of humanitarian workers have no parallels in the world history. These actions cannot be condoned enough and cannot be condemned enough. The international community must mobilize to stop Israel from its murderous course and persuade it to pursue a path of reason. Palestinians must be granted their inalienable right to self-determination. Pakistan reiterates its unwavering support for the Palestinian people and calls for the establishment of a viable, independent and contiguous Palestinian state with pre-1967 borders and Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital. Pakistan has consistently supported this position all along, and we continue to actively pursue it at the United Nations, OIC and other international forums. We believe there can be no peace in the Middle East without justice for the Palestinians. Ladies and gentlemen, in recent months, we have purposefully made serious efforts to reset Pakistan-Afghanistan relations on a positive trajectory.